cancer, free radicals, and antioxidants. So free radicals, first, they damage DNA. That's your mutation. Free radicals then act as a promoter, activating so-called cancer genes. Alright, then the free radicals can suppress the immune system. And then you have the free radicals that activate all these carcinogens in our diet and in our air and in the water that we're breathing. And then we have free radicals that damage the cell membranes, which limits their ability to stop this or limit the growth of this abnormal behavior. Alright, so you see all this stuff taking place with these free radicals. Alright, here's something I want to mention, because here's the thing about, we've done all this scanning stuff, and it's kind of confusing sometimes. How we've got, like one person in particular here the other day was talking about how he's never sick. That's about the fact he had a cold last. But, I don't know. Anyway, he says that he never gets sick, but his score is very low. Now, how many of you have ever seen this? Where a person that you know, they look good, they never seem to get sick, they just keep going and going and going, and then all of a sudden, you hear that they went to the doctor, and they come back and the doctor says, you have 3 months to live. Now, how did that happen? Because we look at that person and we're thinking, that person's healthy. They never get sick. But what happens is these free radicals keep working on you. Okay, you don't get sick. Great. But eventually what happens is these free radicals keeps working on this immune system till it becomes so suppressed and so weakened, because it's battling these free radicals every day. It's battling. And after a while, because we keep putting in bad food, the immune system goes, I'm done. And right then, that person went from zero. They went from that initiation stage. They went full-blown, whoom, right into that malignancy. Just like that. Because their immune system became so suppressed, so weak, that it just exploded. And all of a sudden, they go from nothing to terminal. That's what happened to my mother. Perfect example. Went to the hospital. Had COPD, she was a smoker and all this stuff, and she went in to have stents put in her legs to help her circulation. They did every body scan, everything they could possibly do, because she had some obvious problems. And she goes in, and she has the stents put in. And they said, well, there's no sign of any cancer, everything else looks good, you've still got some blockages, you got some emphysema, you got a little bit of this, but no cancer. 3 months later, terminal. So from zero to terminal in 3 months. What happened? During the surgery, because of her score was about 11,000, 12,000. Because of her health, she goes in and her immune system gets further suppressed as a result of the surgery, and it opened the door. So all of a sudden, that's what happens. So, my point with that is, don't play that game. Oh, well, I've never been sick. I've always been healthy, so I'm just going to ignore this stuff. It's like you're spinning that gun, playing Russian roulette. You're just playing that game. Why not put things on the side of erring to the side of good versus erring to the side of what could be bad? So the antioxidants, again, are the anti-promoters in all of this. Anti-promoters. They're the ones that keep this from happening.